Back here on Good Better Broker from UWM Live as we bring in our good friend Ben Lavender. He is with Madison Mortgage Services out of New York City.
That's right. Thank
Ben,
you for having me, sir.
What's going on, man?
I'm just chilling, just coming to hang with you. I came all the way to see you.
Oh.
I didn't come for Tony Robbins. I came for you.
It warms my heart. Thank you, but you're a liar.
Everything's good. It's genuinely really, really nice to be here, because this energy that you get from these events is exactly what loan officers need when we're going through a shift in the market, when times are tougher. This is the place to be, because even today, I'm not immune to it, right? I have my times where I feel like my momentum is down, I'm not as pumped, and just listening to Ishbia talk this morning, I'm like getting back into aggressive. I feel like my muscles flexing. I'm like, let's get back. So I'm trying to calm down.
You're ready to go.
That's basically what it does. And look, of course, we connect, we talk, we meet people. It's fun. You get all these nuggets, and ultimately, it's on you to go back and implement. But it's really, really great to be here.
No, you make a great point. There's solidarity in the fact that this community, that exists now in the broker channel. Everybody's kind of going through the same thing, so everyone can relate to one another. Let me ask you about that though. Just the community that exists in the independent mortgage broker channel, because as you know, it wasn't like this as recently as a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think that's in large part to what AIM and UWM has done in just bringing the brokers together. And the community aspect, like I literally have some of my best friends are mortgage brokers in other states that I see anywhere from 4 to 8 times a year at these events. We talk all the time, like we have our group chats, we chat all day. It's like you meet people because these people, they get you, right? These are your people. Of course, you have your friends, your family, whatever, but no one truly understands what we go through. Not like we're saving lives, I'm not saying that, but it could be a stressful business, it can be very demanding, it could be a thankless business, and it's good to have those people who really get you. So that solidarity, it's not something that a lot of people come for, but it's a really, really amazing surprise to leave with.
Yeah, no, that's well said. I remember when we had you on the podcast, you were one of our first guests on Good Better Broker, by the way, and we talked all about your social media presence and all these funny videos that you do. And I feel like since that time, Ben, and that was over a year and a half ago at this point.
Oh wow!
So many more people are flocking to social as a way of getting their name and getting their brand out there. So let me ask you this. How have you evolved your social media presence?
So it's a good question. I would say, and this is me critiquing myself, that I haven't really evolved. All I've really done is mixed up a couple different formats. So those short form videos that people do where it's just them one-on-one with the camera. So I got in on that like early on, not in the very beginning, but early on. And then what happened was that everyone in my business, and I'm saying like in my local market in New York, they started doing it as well. So I stopped doing it because what happens is that we have very similar audiences. So literally it's just all our videos look exactly the same. It looks a little bit ridiculous. So I'm just trying to change the format, make it a little bit more engaging, doing some reading, learning from people that are, have mastered it, and trying to switch it up. So now I'm trying to switch it up with still short form, but just a different format. And then on top of that, do some funny stuff. So I've got like this thing where my videographer like knocks on my door, comes to my office and says a bunch of like silly questions, and I pretend to be annoyed with him, or I say something sarcastic, and it's fun because sure, you have to educate your consumers and realtors in your market on what's going on, and you should absolutely do that. But at the end of the day, you need to be somewhat like relatable enough where people can reach out to you. And I do think that is not easy to balance. I haven't figured it out completely. I'm trying to, some education, some entertainment and relatability, because if we're up there in, a sharp suit and we look like these big Wall Street guys, clients are going to be too intimidated to reach out to us, which is obviously the last thing that we want.
No, it's a really good point, and we know that you're not afraid to make fun of yourself, be self-deprecating, but at the end of the day, that's what people can relate to, because you're a normal person. You're not just some, like you said, suit that's talking right to the camera and being all serious about this mortgage stuff.
Yeah, and don't even something I struggled with in the beginning was like when you're talking about guidelines or certain topics, when you talk about it, it can go into 5 million different variations of whatever that is. And I had to stop myself from doing that because it's not only is it boring, but it's just like kind of annoying for people to listen to. So, because let's say that I'm talking about PMI, which again is played out and we've all done it. But if I talk about like all the different things that affect PMI over a 3-minute video, it's not particularly engaging. And I'm always like trying to think like from a guideline perspective, how does this sound? But I'm not trying to prove to underwriters that I know everything that they know. I'm trying to show consumers or educate them on a way for them to be easier to qualify or perhaps debunk a myth that they didn't really know. So just keeping that in mind is something I struggle with, and I'm sure other loan officers struggle with that as well.
We've talked to quite a few people from California who have been here, and they've told us about some of the the nuances of their markets on the West Coast. I'm curious about what you're seeing in the New York Metro and what's going on there.
It's a similar problem, very, very little inventory. It's tough. It's definitely tough. The people that are applying are less qualified than before. I was talking about it before. I think we took, I forgot how many, 5-6 referrals on Tuesday, and every single person that applied had zero money in the bank. So, it's harder. I'm not saying that to ridicule them in any way. Good for them for applying, but what's happening is that times are getting tougher, and people don't have money in abundance like they did a couple years ago. So it's getting tougher for people to qualify. Home prices are still going up, so if you can afford to buy, you should. But it's...
Say that again real quick.
If you can afford to buy, you should. Yeah, but that's really the truth. It's little inventory, and it's a very competitive market. And I was talking to you before about like how the momentum shift. So people are more quiet on social media. The loan officers in my market aren't as loud. Same with quite a few of the realtors, but at the end of the day, you have to keep doing like activities like this, right? You have to do podcasts. Last week, I did 4 podcasts and went to 3 networking events in 1 week. For me, that's rare because I am usually more of an introvert, but it's just like, look, you go with the approach of you just meet people and have fun. I never sold myself. I just, introduce myself to people and, joke around. And if you vibe with people, great. But like, it's not like I'm Ben Lavender. I close loans in 10 days and I have the lowest interest rates on the planet. Give me business now. No, it's just you get to know people, and as they say, they know, like, and trust you. And then you can hit them with, how you can help them. But it's all about the approach. And I think if you go to these events, you do these podcasts and all these other marketing activities without the agenda of it's going to bring me more business, it becomes less exhausting to do. So the way that I look at it, it's not even income producing, it's just fun. It's just like connecting with people, talking, and whatever happens. And it always turns out for the better that way, I think.
No, you're 100% right. And as you know, man, it's a contact sport. The more people you contact, the better you're going to do. So
speaking of that, I have to tell you this because I have this video idea. And I'm asking you now because you can kind of tell me if it's a good or a bad idea. So I've been talking about that, what you just said, more like basically the more hands you shake, the more money you make, whatever. But instead, I said, right now my focus is kissing hands and shaking babies. You heard that correctly. Okay, I've said that like 5 times in the past week, accidentally. So what did I do? I bought this doll. Right? You can see where this is going. So this is my video idea that my videographer is going to record me saying that and just like shaking the doll, like violently. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I haven't done it yet. I haven't ran it by compliance or our CEO. Probably for the best that I don't do any of those things and just
better I think in that situation to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Right. We'll see how it goes. If I get canceled and my career is over, you heard it first as to why, but I think I'm going to do it.
Hey, just be careful when you're kissing those hands, all right? You never know where those hands have been. Ben Lavender, British mortgage broker, New York's favorite British mortgage broker, I should say, with Madison Mortgage Services. Great to see you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.